Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So, tournament's over now, and this is the first game I've played since, and I'm absolutely exhausted. So, I'm just rushing this one out, honestly. But it turned out to be a great game. This is the first game I played on ladder, and it turned out to be great. So, a load of people had sent me a ton of replays over the last couple of weeks, but I've been so busy with the tournament and Gobbo's tournament and just crazy stuff going on. It's been a real hassle. Also, I reinstalled Windows, so all my replays folder got deleted, so now I need to go through Discord, grab everyone's replays, go through my emails, grab everyone's replays. But I'm hoping to do a ton of community casts over the next week, but I've got to sort all that stuff out again and find all the replays you guys had sent me again from various places. So, sorry about that, guys, but I'm getting to it. Also, a quick note before we start is, yeah, I'm wondering whether or not to keep the webcam on for sort of replays in general, because I don't know, it seemed quite fun over the last, the last few games and things, doing all of Gobbo's tournament. So let me know what you think about having the webcam up. So, I am playing as the Empire, and obviously I don't have the webcam up now, you don't have to point that out, I know, but tell me if it's, a nice touch, and I'll see about doing that. Anyway, so I'm playing as the Empire. I mean, it's the High Elves. So I have spearmen with shields in the front line for some missile resist, slightly further back, some flagellants, basically because I need them to hold as long as possible. And with most Elven units being more sort of defensive than offensive, yeah, flagellants can hold quite well in the front line. Obviously, cavalry is a big weakness of theirs, but I do have a Hellblaster volley gun for doing some massive damage to anything I choose to shoot. And also, I have a couple of Outriders as well with really good armor piercing. So it's going to be tough for them to find a nice way into the front line, especially because I have a ton of Empire Knights. I have 4 units to help bog things down. Also, I have Karl Franz. Karl Franz is going to be quite good here, I think. He's got some great buffs, so you can see he's got some really good weapon strength as is, but he's got a load of extra little fun things. So here, he can get a bonus versus large of plus 16, which is very good, as well as a load of armor-piercing damage. He's also got the Railgun Rune Fang, which will give him extra melee attack, as well as anyone nearby, which is a very nice buff. He's also got Stand Your Ground to add to melee defense and leadership, and of course Foe Seeker. He's also got Hold the Line, which is always on and will always give plus 5 melee defense and plus 4 leadership, and he's also got the Blood Roar, which will lower leadership if he's in melee, which is great, so he can break things a lot quicker. So he's going to be really good for hopping from combat to combat, trying to sway the battle in favour of my units. So Karl Franz, really good lord. Unfortunately, he can't regenerate like Boris Todbringer. He doesn't have magic like Gelt. He doesn't regenerate like Volkmar either, but he's a very good lord, and I have Law of Life, so I can heal him up if I need to. So that's good news. So Law of Life, I also brought Flesh to Stone, because High Elves do tend to struggle against armour. A lot of their units don't have good armor piercing, so I wanted to make sure that I could bolster the armor of some units with Flesh to Stone for a while, because it's actually a very good spell. So over on this side, you can see immediately Dragon Princes are trying to come in. I'm shooting them with the Outriders, and I'm just throwing Empire Knights at them to bog them down and stop them for a bit. Here, I've got my Empire Knights headed straight for these Loathen Seaguard to try and knock them offline for, just temporarily. Got another 2 Knights walking in. One of them is going to charge into some archers. So his front line, he's got a load of Loathen Seaguard on the edges, and he has archers with light armor. And amazingly, the archers with light armor, they seem far more durable than normal archers, to a crazy extent. I'm seeing them more and more now, and I'm starting to think they might actually be worthwhile. So pretty cool. We'll see. They just will refuse to die in this battle. He has a ton of white lines of trace. That armor, state troops can't really get through it, but of course artillery can. But they're only mid-tier. They're not that expensive. He has so many of them that I can't really destroy all of them with my artillery. It's going to be a lot of work. Also, he has a load of spearmen in the front for missile resistance, I imagine. So, pretty handy. He also has a Lariel. A Lariel's just great, I mean, let's be honest. Thing is, though, she doesn't seem to have the Star of Avalon, does she? I'm not sure if he ever uses it. I don't remember seeing it. No, he doesn't have the Star of Avalon, so he didn't bring his items, which is really strange. But he does have Tempest, and he does have an Earthblood, so that will definitely help. And also, he has the 2 Dragon Princes on the outside, so we're going to speed things up and see what happens. So, immediately, I'm getting a lot of fire onto these guys, but obviously, my Empire Knights are no match for Dragon Princes. They're bound to lose that. So, yeah, it's not good. Not good, but I do get a regrowth on them. Try and keep them going. That was a little bit late. Should have done that a lot sooner. But I was hoping my Outriders would get a lot more damage into these guys before they went down. Here, I am getting my Hellblaster volley gun to start shooting the Dragon Princes, but he's doing very well to avoid that fire, and I think the terrain is helping him out. So, Karl Franz did get a Tempest, but it kept all his archers busy, so I didn't mind. Here, unfortunately, my Empire Knights did get very bogged down in this fight, which was definitely a mistake. I meant to pull them out, but I'm going to start throwing other units in there. So my Empire Knights now charging into the Archer with light armor, and you see on the charge they did some good damage, and then suddenly they just stopped doing damage. These archers, very resilient. It's very strange. So anyway, so I'm going to keep pulling out the Empire Knights and keep charging into new units. And here you can see the Dragon Princes are struggling, and now my Empire Knights are coming back in, so they're going to be bogged down even further. Karl Franz has joined this fight, along with some Empire Knights, and with the guns and the spears, and, you know, the Blood Roar and the Terror. There's a lot of things that's going to stop the Dragon Princes from staying in prolonged combat here. So that is pretty great. So Karl Franz really helped tip that in my favour. So those Dragon Princes have already been routed, which is crazy. So that's pretty awesome. But my front line is looking pretty terrible. These White Lions are just so much better than my units. And now he is starting to fire at my Hellblaster Volleygun crew, which will not do. So over here, now I've got my Jade Wizard running into these Loathen Seaguard, trying to stop them, and I'm using the Hellblaster Volleygun to shoot at them, because they're going to be very blobbed up around my Wizard. So here, still shooting at those Dragon Princes. That unit did shatter, which is pretty impressive. And now I have my other Empire Knights trying to run around the back. I need to shut down these archers, and because he is seeing his archers get shut down, he did actually turn his Loathen Seaguard around. It probably would have been better just to keep shooting at the Hellblaster Volleygun, but he saw he wasn't doing a huge amount of damage, but still, I think it would have been worthwhile. So anyway, these guys are going to need to get back into the fray soon. So, still trying to deal with these archers with light armor, and you see even on the charge, they are just not taking much damage. I'm not really sure how they are withstanding so much of this damage. It's very impressive. I mean, yes, they have martial prowess, but that's still only 30 melee defense against, what, the 26 melee attack plus 48 charge bonus? It's pretty nuts. You know, you'd think you'd do more damage on the charge. But anyway, he's bringing units from his front line to back him up, which is probably wise to get these archers back online, but it means that I have a little bit more respite in the front, and amazingly, my spearmen are holding out against a lot of these guys, because spearmen, they are very defensive, and, well, so are high elf units, so they're going to take a long time to actually capitalize. So here, my Jade Wizard did actually run away, so I'm going to use a regrowth on him, just to get his health back up. I know, quite expensive, probably could have just used an Earthblood, got him near something and used an Earthblood and everything, but anyway. So here, Alarielle is coming after my Hellblaster Volleygun, but she's a nice juicy target for my Outriders, and she doesn't have the Star of Avalon, it's only Earthblood she has. So anyway, Karl Franz is coming to the rescue. I'm trying to run my crew away while I shoot at her, but they have broken, which is a pity. Here, I use an Earthblood on my Flagellants, because they're unbreakable, so if I can keep them alive, they'll keep the enemy bogged down for a long time, even with very little health. So as long as I can heal up those models, it might keep me going a little longer. So here, finally got rid of those archers. Trying to go for the next lot. He was chasing my spearmen, so I ran the spearmen away. I wanted to see how far these White Lions would chase me. I was trying to chase them way over here, basically. So here, my Empire Knights are getting shot at by the Loathen Seaguard, so I'm going to charge the Loathen Seaguard, and I'm going to try and get on top of these archers. So I'm pinning down all of his archers again, but Alarielle is poised. So now I'm trying to get Karl Franz to start bolstering the front line, trying to help out here. So another Earthblood by Alarielle is going to keep his front line fighting a long time. You see I only have 6 Flagellants here, so it's not going to be long before he can get through there. So here I've got my Outriders, they're trying to shoot into this gap. You see there are quite a few juicy targets, got a rear charge with the Empire Knights, but I did leave them in there a little bit too long, honestly. So here, fighting the Loathen Seaguard and Alarielle is not good for me, honestly. That is not good for those knights at all. Here, amazingly, these archers are still fighting me off, which is so annoying anyway. And you might notice there are actually 9 Dragon Princes right on the edge of the map. I didn't quite chase them off, which is quite irritating. So here, they broke through the middle. So I'm starting to shoot into what I can with the Hellblaster Volleygun, sort of infantry-wise, because frankly I have to. So here, I'm charging in with the Spearmen. I would have had to block here because, you know, the White Lions would have just overwhelmed my artillery, which he should have done, I think. But maybe he saw that I did have the Spearmen. But because he wiped out those Flagellants, there's no way the Spearmen could hold back all those 3 units. So I don't know why he's still trying to finish off my front line. He could have got rid of the artillery. And that is a killer. I mean, 73 kills at the moment, not a huge amount, but that's going to add up if he leaves it alone. It's still got half of his ammunition left. So anyway, coming in with Karl Franz with his Blood Roar and all the rest of it, should hopefully do some good damage there too. And my knights are still trying to chase all these guys down, and he still has Loathen Seaguard, which is very annoying. And now my infantry is starting to buckle in other places, which is very, very difficult for me. He just has too many units. I can't keep them all busy. And here, Empire Knight's coming back. Amazingly, his archers are still going. I don't know how his archers are still alive. This is ridiculous. The amount of times I've charged them with Empire Knights, and they just won't die. Cheeky sods. Anyway, Lariel's going to go support all those guys, and it means that I have Karl Franz supporting my lines, and he doesn't have a Lariel supporting his, so hopefully I can start tipping the balance. Also, I've got these juicy shots straight down the line here with the Hellblaster volley gun, but I think he keeps missing here. It's a bit annoying. Yes, he's obstructed. Oh, that is so annoying. So he's shooting at the ones that Karl Franz knocks away. So really I should have moved him. This isn't a great position. I was fighting too close to the hill here. But luckily I do terrify all these guys. And now the Outriders are coming in. So the Outriders should come in and help. Empire Knights bogging this stuff down for a while. I've kind of written them off almost in this engagement. It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to break this front line. But Karl Franz is really helping. That Blood Roar, it really helps lower leadership and then Terror can take hold. So he is a great support lord. So here, I'm charging with the Outriders. I've taken them off fire at will, and I'm going to try and charge into some of these units. So I think I get the Jade Wizard to attack this lot. These Outriders are going to chase these for a bit. And Karl Franz, he's going to try and support the next combat, because I need to keep terrifying and breaking all these different units. So you see, they will get terrified. There we go. Terror hits again. It does not take long for Karl Franz to support a unit like that. It is really impressive. But unfortunately, he does use Earthblood. So that's annoying. But I think they've basically all lost martial prowess now, so that's good news. And my Outriders, I'm now going to position around here, because I need to start getting some shots into this lot. And yep, Jade Wizard still chasing. Hellblaster volley gun still going, which is nice. These guys are getting shot at, that's fine. I'm happy for them to get shot at rather than anything else, so I'm just going to leave them to it. So here, I'm trying to get some shots with the Hellblaster volley gun in again. And 85 kills, starting to actually get some kills now. And Karl Franz is still trying to finish all these units off. The more I can just hit them and terrify them and hit them and terrify them and just keep breaking them like that, the better. So, but here you can see my spearmen are done with again. My Outriders are going to have to move up, because they need to start getting on top of Alariel. I am actually shooting at her a little bit with the Hellblaster volley gun, because, well, she's a juicy target while stood there. So, Jade Wizard trying to chase these units off, but with these White Lions back, I can't leave him there for long, so I'm going to have to pull him away. So I think I pull him up and around, to basically make these guys have to run as far as possible. So now he is starting to shoot at my Hellblaster volley gun again. Back here, White Lions are coming back, so this is a little iffy. That's not ideal for me. So anyway, Jade Wizard running in. Where is Karl Franz right now? Here he is. So Karl Franz is going to finally wrap up all these guys, because frankly, Alariel is so injured she can't support in these fights. So I'm going to get rid of these guys nice and quickly. But this is a lot of support that he has, which is dangerous. But I keep chasing him with the Outriders, and he can't really afford to have Alariel shot at. She just doesn't have enough health left to withstand much from the Outriders, so she can't afford to land so long as I keep chasing her. And the Hellblaster volley gun, now it is actually helping. It is firing into this engagement pretty well, and that is definitely going to help. So Jade Wizard's still giving these guys the runaround, but there are a lot of units that are coming back that are left. So Karl Franz managed to break these two, but they are coming back, but it keeps them away from me for a while. But now Franz has to come back into this engagement, so I'm having to use my Outriders to shoot the White Lions now, because I can't afford to let them get on my Hellblaster volley gun. This is the most killing power of anything that I have, so I need to keep it alive. So I'm going to start charging these guys. Blood Roar will take effect in a minute when I come in here, so they're not going to last long, so I actually leave these guys to basically kill these Dragon Princes that are coming back. I can't have these Dragon Princes getting a charge off, so I'm just going to run up to them and shoot them point blank, and they're not going to last long. There we go. So, there we go. That's good news. So, Dragon Princes, now they're gone again, and I can bring these guys back in to continue to chase Alariel. So, Jade Wizard trying to help block these guys, and amazingly it's working. With the Terror from Karl Franz, these guys are getting terrified. The extra leadership penalties from being gunned down like that is pretty great. So, shooting at the next units. Jade Wizard, he's going to run in all Cavalier, basically run out of Winds of Magic, so I might as well use him to bog things down for a bit. And he does have good weapon strength, honestly. He will be able to hit pretty hard. Not great armor piercing, so the White Line's armor will help them, but still, it's a start. So now, Karl Franz is trying to get in here. More stuff is terrifying, which is pretty great. Balance of power now is so much in my favor. These guys' leadership isn't good enough to withstand Karl Franz's terror. So here, starting to get my Outriders to shoot at Alariel again, and it's not going to take long. And yeah, the balance of power moving hugely because of Alariel. So there we go. That is a win, finally. So that was a tense one. That was definitely a tense one. But a lot of fun. It was a good fight. And yeah, I like this matchup. I really do. High Elves, I think the wider they go, the better. honestly, against the Empire, because a lot of the killing power for the Empire is the back line, so if you can overwhelm it, it's great. Also, a lot of the killing power is very just unarmoured, so just even cheap archers will be able to get a lot of value killing things like handgunners, or will help screen things like outriders, which is why I was trying to kill everything with the Empire Knights in the back line so much. Didn't really work very well though, did it? But, you know, that's fine. I kept them busy, and that's the main thing. So it kept my guns online, so 147 kills with a Hellblaster. Not bad to say, it was actually slightly badly positioned. You know, not bad at all. Karl Franz, he did a great job supporting. I mean, thanks to him, he basically wiped out a unit of Dragon Princes. I mean, that unit of Dragon Princes, it should have done a lot better. But Karl Franz joining that, big anti-large, giving everyone a load of attack buffs. When he was nearby, defense buffs, it just made people able to compete with the Dragon Princes, and he was able to do a lot of damage, and it pinned stuff in place with the Hellblaster volley gun. So, you know, one unit of Dragon Princes got wiped out with 0 kills. That is pretty awful for Dragon Princes. They usually do a lot better than that, as I'm sure you know. So yeah, pretty interesting. You know, Alariel without her items, very risky move. Not sure if that was intentional. So yeah, I definitely recommend bringing the Stave of Avalorn and the Star of Avalorn. They are both too useful not to bring. All that extra Winds of Magic from the Stave, and yeah, just the massive healing from the Star of Avalorn. It keeps things like the Dragon Princes alive for a lot longer. So yeah, it's a pretty tense fight, and a lot of fun. So thanks, Hot Bingo. It was a good match. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next one. Have a good day, guys.